We begin tonight with allegations of a police cover-up over a hit-and-run reportedly involving a chief in the Erie County Sheriff's Office.
We're told that alleged cover-up came with a $60,000 price tag paid for by taxpayers. Multiple voices now calling for transparency so the public knows what truly happened last April. Daniel Granville is accused of multiple hit-and-run crashes on Buffalo's west side. This was last year. Using accident reports obtained by the investigative Post, it says the spree began when Granville turned off Niagara Street and onto Jersey Street just before midnight on April 11th.
The narcotics chief allegedly hit two cars on Jersey before turning right onto Prospect Avenue. Another two cars on that block reported damage. As the investigative Post reports, by the end of it, a total of 7 cars were hit. Tonight, 7 News reporter Kristen Moran is giving a voice to 2 people who are critical of how law enforcement agencies have responded to this case so far. We hear from a Buffalo councilman as well as a well-known local attorney, both asking for answers and accountability.
Niagara District Council member David Rivera wants to know why he's only now learning about an incident involving a high-ranking Erie County Sheriff's Office official that happened in his district nearly a year ago.
When it came to light, I think yesterday, my first thought was there are just so many unanswered questions that the general public would want to know. Chief
of Narcotics and Intelligence Daniel DJ Granville is facing allegations of being involved in a hit-and-run crash. A car owner whose Jeep was one of several damaged filed a lawsuit against the chief and the sheriff's office.
And that lawsuit claims that Granville negligently and recklessly drove or lost control of his county-owned vehicle in this intersection, Jersey and Prospect on Buffalo's west side, all while in an impaired condition.
You're going down the one-way street, you hit 7 cars, and this is the area where it happened. This isn't a very narrow street. This is a very wide street.
Rivera says it's unclear to him what actions were and were not taken that night. The Buffalo Police Department accident report was signed off by Buffalo Police Lieutenant Lucia Esquilin. Esquilin, according to investigative Post, is Granville's sister-in-law.
It frustrates me because people are involved in accidents every single day. And they're treated differently. If somebody was involved in an accident that hit 7 cars, there probably would have been a very thorough investigation and perhaps even an arrest made.
Police officers and public servants should hold themselves to a higher degree of responsibility than those that are in the public.
John Elmore is an attorney who has previously served as a state trooper and assistant state attorney general.
But sometimes the cover-up is worse than the screw-up.
He says if, in fact, all of this happened,
there should have been an independent investigation as to whether or not there was any wrongdoing. And if there was some wrongdoing, then that officer should be face the appropriate discipline.
Rivera is now calling for a thorough investigation into this and says he sent a letter to the Buffalo Police Commissioner to further discuss the department's handling of this at the next Police Oversight Committee meeting.
I just want people to have confidence in the Buffalo Police Department, that everybody's going to be treated the same, regardless if they're a high-ranking county official or a relative of a police officer. You're treated the same.
Kristen Moran, 7 News, Buffalo.
Our Michael Wooten joins us now to continue our coverage on this. You're looking into a key aspect in this case. Was Chief Granville on duty or off duty when all this happened?
Yeah, we're getting conflicting answers about that very simple question. Multiple sources say he was off duty late that night, that he had worked an earlier shift that day, so he was clearly not on the job when this happened. But today I got a statement from County Attorney Jeremy Toth, who said, quote, "In this particular case, we conducted our usual internal review after receiving the claims, determined that the deputy was on duty, acting within the scope of his employment, and there was no criminal conduct or otherwise intentional behavior that would have provided a good faith defense to the county for paying the claims." Now, we have multiple sources just flat out saying that is not true. Obviously, we'd like to see clarity from the sheriff, who has refused to comment on all of this. We can also tell you that the county comptroller, because that's who, pays out settlements like this, they manage the checkbook. The county comptroller is making inquiries into whether or not the county is legally responsible for paying out those claims. So it all comes down to, was he on the job then or was he not? One other quick footnote here. We got a statement from Tim Myers, the chair of the Erie County Legislature, who says that the caucus just learned about all of this and that the Buffalo Police Department's Internal Affairs Division is conducting the investigation. They are demanding full transparency. So that's coming from lawmakers. And we got a copy of the auction report. We can tell you that that vehicle, after it was damaged, Jeff, was sold for about $5,600. So more to come on all this as it just continues to unveil.
A lot of layers, a lot of moving parts, and I know you'll continue to stay on top of this. Another part of this story we're working on is getting access to the accident reports from this incident. We get the latest from the 7 News I-Team.
I'm 7 News I-Team investigator Ed Dranch outside Buffalo Police Headquarters in downtown Buffalo, working to get some more information about what exactly happened tonight. Erie County Sheriff's Narcotics Chief Dan Granville is accused of crashing into a number of cars on Buffalo's west side. Through a Freedom of Information Law request, I've requested all Buffalo Police reporting associated with these crashes from April of last year from the Buffalo Police Department, since they responded to these crashes. These documents should otherwise be made public, but the Buffalo Police Department has denied my request, explaining the Internal Affairs Department has stated this case is currently active and nothing can be shared at this time. This internal investigation with the police department now looms with questions. Was there a cover-up, considering Granville's sister-in-law responded to the scene and signed off on these police reports? The sheriff, meantime, says there is no investigation on his end. In downtown Buffalo tonight for the 7 News I-Team, I'm Ed Dranch.